City of Cedar Rapids continues to rebuild from the floods of '08, and millions of dollars in new construction projects is all part of that process.
But some are wondering exactly how much money is being spent. In a CBS 2 News special investigation, Josh Scheinblum follows the money to tell us just how much change is costing taxpayers.
If you've ever wondered what it looks and sounds like to spend hundreds of millions of dollars, just take a trip to downtown Cedar Rapids. Construction crews are transforming the landscape of the city, from the new convention center to the future downtown public library. And it doesn't take a crystal ball to realize the city of 5 seasons will soon be looking very different. But what some are asking is at what cost?
Every project the city's going after, they're trying to build a bigger, better facility for themselves, but it's not really directly helping the people of Cedar Rapids.
Helping the people or not, the city is spending millions, and they're doing it fast. A recent audit of City Hall by City Hall shows in 2011, Cedar Rapids spent more tax revenue per capita than any other Midwest city of similar size. In fact, Cedar Rapids spent nearly $7,000 of tax money for each family of 4, while cities like Rockford and Springfield, Illinois, pay far less. The audit shows much of that money goes to community and economic development, the overwhelming portion of which is tied to flood recovery efforts. On a graph, it looks like a huge number, but when you break it down, more than half of the money came from the federal government, nearly half from local taxpayers, and the rest from the state of Iowa.
We have to spend money to recover. We have no choice.
City Councilman Don Carr says while government spending is often out of control, this is not one of those cases.
We got some money coming from the federal government that didn't go to the bridge of nowhere in Alaska. We've never got money like that in this community. Why wouldn't we take advantage of that to think about what's best for the future of this community?
Cedar Rapids' city manager says the projects are necessary. Adding all that federal flood recovery money skews the numbers, making them look higher than they actually are.
So at the time when these dollars are gone, we won't be expending those dollars. They will not be available.
But for city watchdogs like Pew, that argument misses the point.
It is still taxpayer money. We are still paying taxes to the federal and state government.
Also keep in mind, a large chunk of that money has been spent buying up flooded out properties. Last year, the city spent more than $62 million acquiring places like these. This year, city officials estimate they'll spend another $5 million. But
is it really necessary in all the cases to just knock the buildings down, or could we find investors or other people who would be willing to rebuild these homes?
The city says they have tried to sell a number of flood properties, but no one is interested. But that brings us back to the construction. Those watching the pennies contend the city's been set on a bigger and better path. For example, they say the new library is far bigger than what the community really needs, at least for now.
We have to think about not just us today and how it affects us today, but how it affects the people of the future. And so sometimes you have to invest for the future.
The debate over how the city should be spending flood recovery money is as old as the flood itself. But there are those who say that debate is a good thing. Covering the corridor in Cedar Rapids, Josh Scheinblum, CBS 2 News.